Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Construction Complete, the show all about Super Mario Maker 2. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be taking another look at a level I've made for the Super Mario Bros. 3 remix. Today we're looking at 2-3, is that right? Yes, 2-3. And this level to me feels very similar to the level it's based on. But very much of the word remix, and I'm quite happy with this. I know it feels maybe a little bit too on the nose, this level, but it's a short level, and I kind of like it, and it's kind of turned out alright. I mean, yes, okay, it's not quite as innovative as some of the other levels I've made, but, you know, I like it, so, you know. So if you want to play it, as always, there'll be a link, well, not link, it'll be on screen, the course code at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. So if you want to test it out for yourself, you can. But I'll play through it. I'll show you what I've done, and then I'll critique it, and then I'll play through it once more time at the end. And yeah, so without further ado, let's do this.
Here we go.
So yeah, starts off pretty different. Bear in mind the only enemies in this level are these Koopa Troopers. Pretty much, I just decided that that's what I want to do. I'm loving that middle block, the perspective on it looks really odd. I love it. Well, you're gonna see what this level is basically based on. Is the pyramid type level, but done in a slightly different way. The pyramids get steadily bigger as we go along. Can I do it? Oh, let's do it the easy way, shall we? So very similar, except there are no fire snakes in this game, so I have to use something different. And this bit is going to look also very familiar, and I'll explain why there's wooden blocks there later. But as you can see, lots of coins, and with a very, very similar hidden secret area. If I can get up there. Now, in the original, that secret area is a bit fiddly. Not the most easiest thing to hit. I think there's a 1-up in one of these blocks. There he is. Whee! Oh, I'm skipping a bit. Oh dear! So rather than make the POW like really, really like far away, put the POW block there. Grab me some coins. Then there's just this little bit here with the Koopa Trooper, just to sort of mix it up before the end of the level. Then, before I killed him, another one at the end there. And there you go. So that's the level. Very short, very simple idea. It doesn't have the weird pyramid thing where you go down the pipe at the end like the original does. Just very similar in tone. Some could say maybe a little bit lazy, but I was trying to go for this kind of pyramid stacking. And just specifically the Koopa Troopers, and there is a reason for that, having all these Koopa Troopers here. Because there's only 2 power-ups in the entire level, so you might need something to smash blocks. But yeah, let's go for it. Starts off, like I always say, make sure that whatever you're going to chuck at the opponent, don't put it too close to them to start with. Give them some time to think about it. You're not going to run into those Koopa Troopers. Like, it's just not going to happen. You can see them as soon as you start the level. The best part about it is you can just jump and just let them go past. So we start off giving a mushroom straight away. You also notice that the level's going up, so there's something in the sky. A couple of Koopa Troopers, nothing too crazy. And so I'm showing you off what the gimmick is of this level. It's these semi-solid platform blocks, which you can then do this weird like stuff with, and that just messes with my eyes. Semi-solid platform blocks used as a stacking with some green Koopa Troopers, and there's some red ones as well. Then each subsequent pyramid should be getting bigger, basically, as you can see, which is why it goes off the top of the screen. So, you start off with a couple of Koopa Troopers.
Here we go.
Nice and easy, you can get a mushroom in there if you want. Followed up by this Paratrooper, who's boinking along, a few coins. Nothing too crazy. A little bit of space between each one, and then we then have this next bit. Now, you can time this to just jump over them, so you can get past the Koopa Troopers. And they line up nicely and walk away in a row. Obviously this level requires a power-up of some kind because you ain't getting in those blocks. And the same with the next section. So, we've got one little pyramid used, just say, hey, there's some Koopa Troopers, there's your mushroom, Nice and easy. Next one to show off a paratrooper, who's I think the only paratrooper in the game, so it's kind of a weird choice. And a few coins, but that pyramid is getting bigger. Next up, you have a much bigger pyramid with these blocks at the top. As well as you're now seeing these 3 Koopa Troopers. The easiest thing you can do here is jump up the blocks and just avoid them entirely. Nothing too difficult, but if you just run in a straight line, you're going to hit him. That's why he's there. But again, should be plenty of time to realise that. Oh, yeah, cool. Turn around. You know, or if you're skillful enough, you can just jump over them. But nice and easy. Plenty of time to just jump up here, get out of the way completely, and jump over them. Followed up, which is basically ripped from the original one, where you have these hard blocks over the pit there. So it is possible to jump from up here and
Here we go.
fall in the hole. Almost did it then, as you can see. Not the easiest thing to do, but if you're not thinking about it, you will fall down those holes. I've done it multiple times, so I know it can happen. But it's just there. It's like a miniature obstacle. It's just to make you think, or just an awkward jump. You're going to fall down there, but it's not like you can't correct yourself to go forward or backwards. So you should be all right. After that, you then have the biggest pyramid in the game of the semi-solid platform blocks with the extra raccoon leaf at the top. Again, same sort of thing. Koopa Troopers here, all on it. So if you are gonna run,
Here we go.
hopefully you will go, okay, and plenty of time to just get up here and knock these blocks down and grab the raccoon leaf. So as you can see so far, very, very similar to the original level. The remix here being that the pyramids are different heights, shapes, there's no fire snakes. It's just all Koopa Troopers which did appear in the original level. But obviously slightly different beginning as well. So pretty much same sort of theme going forward. Slightly bigger, emptier space here. This probably could have been reduced a little bit because it feels a bit wasted, but you know, giving the player time to just land here, see this. I think this might be easier to fall down that pit when you do an awkward jump. Let's have a look. Okay, maybe not, unless I do a full jump. Perhaps.
Here we go.
Just hold right and see what happens. No. So maybe that was harder to fall down, but you can still fall down there. Again, I've done it. And then I did give the player maybe a little bit too much time. There's definitely a lot of wasted space between the end of this pyramid and the other side of this hole. But then leads on to this bit. Now, the wooden blocks. Why are the wooden blocks there? Well, I will show you why the wooden blocks are there, because, and I'm going to make this easier for myself. Let's find a P-switch. You can do, without those wooden blocks, you actually had the ability, what am I doing? P-switch. You actually had the ability to get stuck. So this is something I had to playtest quite a bit. But if I do this, you know, even now, actually, thinking about it, I don't think I'm going to be making that. Yeah. So, originally, the whole point was so that you can get over that amount. But you can also, I mean, most people aren't going to do it, but if there is, you know, say I do, it can be a bit awkward, basically, and if you're on the lower level, you can't do it. That is also why there are so many Koopa Troopers on this level. You can go back and grab a Koopa Trooper at any point and launch them into here, and use the shell to just break through. Obviously the P-switch wouldn't be where I had it, so yeah, if I want to just break through here, I can do it. Not a problem. But you can see that this is something I messed up, and I had to think, well, how can I keep this the same? And the answer was to put blocks that don't turn to coins here. Because otherwise what may happen is you collect some coins here, you grab the rest, you can't get over. But you can go back through the level and you can grab a Koopa Trooper and bring him over. It's a bit awkward. As long as you don't kill these guys, they will keep respawning, pretty much. So hopefully it's a way to do it. But yeah, you can see this is very reminiscent again. But now there's two pyramids either side. There are no jumping blocks because I can't put jumping blocks in this game, unfortunately. I wish they were added. But yeah, the P-switch is in here. And all these blocks turn to coins. It's hunky-dory. And it's lovely. Obviously, if you notice that there's a floating coin in the air, the floating coins are to represent where the other blocks are, which then allows you to get all these coins and then the one up in there. So similar to the original, not exactly the same because the P-switch is up in the air on the original, so that's where you get that. But nice nod to it. And then finally there is a slight variance where we have this red Koopa Trooper going back and forth, the only one in the level, just on this little bit here. and then a green one right at the end. So if I do this properly... Now the one thing I didn't do is put a 1-up in that pyramid, which was in the original. So if I'm going to try something. I'll do something a bit dumb. Let's just take some of these away. But, in fact, I can just do this. Thinking about it, now that I've done that, actually, there is that option. And I can still get up here now as well. But you can see that it's definitely something you have to take in mind. You can't just build something like this. Because in the old game, like, you know, if you didn't have the raccoon leaf, you could... I've messed up this level a few times. Because in the original level at the end, if you keep running when the P-switch is on, where the Koopa Troopers at the end, they can sometimes get stuck, and that can make things a bit more difficult. If you've got a raccoon leaf, this level is so much easier. So, like, this entire time, even if I didn't, I could literally just do this.
Here we go.
You know, it's not exactly difficult just to be like, oh, okay, I'm stuck. No worries, I'll just smash my way through. Yes, it takes time, which isn't great, but you can see that even then it's quicker because you can just smash the blocks anyway because you're big. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, that definitely was the part that when it happened, I had to really think, oh, how can I counteract that? And this is the most important thing about Mario Maker that has taught me something, and the same with the original game as well. You need to realize that when you play test a level, the reason why it's good to get other people to play test your levels is because they won't do the same thing as you. I run through most of my levels. Obviously, I build them so I know where everything is. They will walk, they will fall down places you don't think they're going to fall down. They will get stuck in places you don't think they're going to get stuck. So it's always good to have that kind of, you know, just a few friends. Just play test your levels a couple of times when you make changes. Always important, I think. And that's what I try to do. And I actually caught myself out with having to put these wooden blocks here. So it's important to be like, you know, you think, oh, okay, that's cool. But I'm not the kind of person trying to build a level that's like ultra difficult and trying to kill you. I'm trying to make a what would be in a Mario game, and it's important to make it completable and not soft lock, but have a point where you can't go back or forward or whatever. So I suppose it would kind of be technically a soft lock, but you don't want that to happen ever when you're making a level. Anyway, yes, at the end you got this bit of the Koopa Trooper here. Nothing too crazy. No, not there. Just there, really, and then the green one you'll see come on screen. Doesn't really get in the way. Just a bit of flavour more than anything. This last bit, there's nothing. It's not really there for any purpose, except for just carrying on the theme of the pyramids. And there's like a nice little pyramid there at the end with these Koopa Troopers. So my thoughts on the level. What do I think? Well, I think it is a little bit too safe, maybe. It was fun making a level in this style specifically. Like, this really is very much a remix. It's not a one-to-one remix, but you can tell this is very much based on that level. So, there is that. There is that kind of being like, is it a little bit lazy? Should I have done more with the pyramid motif? I like what I've done, but it's definitely not my... It's not the most impressive level, and it's not the most interesting level for sure. And I think... that's mainly because it's, apart from the enemy types and sort of the very end of that original level, it's quite easy to emulate. You don't need to be ultra good at making levels to emulate that level. If you look at the level maps of it, which is what I do for all the levels to get to sort of look at how they are and whatnot, you can kind of just be like, okay, it's just pyramids. You know, maybe the original level itself isn't necessarily interesting. What makes it interesting is the enemy types, so the jumping blocks, the fire snakes, things that I don't have, because I would probably do a lot more with the jumping blocks. I would have used fire snakes, or at least done something similar. So that's why I've stuck with the Koopa Troopers. They are in that original level. This bit I do like. I like the fact that I had to think about it. It made me realise that you can get stuck. So having Koopa Troopers, being able to go back and get them, and having those blocks there just to give you enough to generally jump over things. You should be able to do a run jump and get over most of it, unless the coin blocks here in the middle aren't taken. If you can get rid of a few of these, like, you can jump over this height from this bit. So it's great. And then obviously the last bit at the end, just a bit of flavour, nothing too crazy. This also very similar. I like this idea. I like putting the coins down, making it much more obvious. In the original, you wouldn't know it was there unless you bashed your head on it, or you saw someone else do it, basically. So, usually whenever I do floating coins like that, I always try to make like a secret block or something near there, because it's a good indication, and it's a good way of showing people there's a secret there, without actually putting the block there, you know. Oh, there's a coin! Bang! Okay, there's a block. Brilliant, right, I can build myself a staircase. But yeah, overall, not my the most interesting level. Like, it was fun to make it, obviously, and it was fun to kind of do something pretty much to the word remix, because this is very much remix, whereas a lot of the other levels are more inspired by. This one definitely feels like a remix, but that's okay. Like, not every level has to be completely different, and not just take the ideas. This one can be a bit more similar to the original, but with just different enemy placement and whatnot. And I don't think the enemy placement's bad in this level at all. I think actually everything's where it needs to be. You've got plenty of time to see it. Like, you start, you can see the Koopa Troopers, easy to avoid. You see the Power Trooper, run underneath him. Plenty of time to see these guys, and the same with the next pyramid. Just jump up the pyramid, or wait, go back, wait for them to walk along. And then here again, he's at the top of the pyramid. It's going to take him a while to walk down there. Same with this dude. This guy's a bit random, and it's mainly only the one at the end that's going to nab you, maybe. See? Still plenty of time to jump over him, so he's not, I'm happy with that. Again, not a very complicated level after like the castle level we did last video, which is, again, it's sort of building to get harder and harder. But yeah, I enjoyed this level. Is it my most impressive level? No. Is it the hardest level? No. But it fills that purpose of, hey, there's a level with pyramids in it in a desert, which is kind of what the original's based on. So I'm going to play through it one more time. Just walking through it just to show you that it can be completed small without grabbing any power-ups. So you can just get a feel for it. Also, like, I know I've mentioned it before, but the builder music in the desert is so good. So good. Can he do it a second time? Can he jump over the Koopa Trooper? Yes, he can. And sometimes there is quite nice to play like a bit more of a simple level. Like, look at that, just so much time. It's a nice thing about Koopa Troopers is they don't move that fast. But yeah, sometimes it's quite nice to play a bit of a simple level after playing a bunch of hard ones or whatever. So I look forward to showing you like more and more of these levels, because I like the fact that I have to think more and more about difficulty as we go on, and like what makes it fun and what makes it actually more difficult, and each element that you add. So I would say this level's pretty easy, like a lot of the World 2 levels I've done. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of this content, hit subscribe. And obviously, if you want to leave us a comment down below, you can. If you've played the level, let me know. If you've got your own levels you want me to play, send me those codes, because I'm all for that. Facebook, Twitter, they're down in the links below if you want to get involved with the groups and that, and follow us on Twitter. But until next video, I'll see you then.